Hello and welcome to one more English lesson. And here is teacher Marcelo. Okay, so welcome. And then, of course, as we always do, let's go on our point. Yeah, on our study today. Yeah, this is the last week of August, and we are here, yeah, like learning this. The topic of the day it's gonna be the escalation of tension in 1936 and 1938. But part two, yeah, because it is a continuation of what we have studied the last lesson. Okay, and then of course let's move on. So I hope, yeah, everybody's right, everybody's okay, and then of course enjoy the lesson. Okay, so let's move on. Yeah, let's go to our print. Yeah, as you can see me here, yeah, in this little circle here. Okay, so just follow me, right? I'm gonna uh let's begin. Today I'm gonna use the color red, actually, right? So okay, so as you can see, we have the title here, right? And this is the escalation of tension in 1936 and 1938. So let's begin the reading and follow me. On After Hitler had taken Austria, Czechoslovakia was afraid that he'd try the same thing there. So what we can see here is that one of the first things that Hitler did was took control. Yeah, he has he has taken control. He had taken control actually of Austria, right? And then there was another country called Czechoslovakia, and they were a little bit afraid. Okay, so if Hitler, if he did that with that country, so maybe he would try to do that with our country. So they were like a little bit afraid of that. Then we're gonna see some points, yeah, that happened in this in Czechoslovakia, and then let's check it out. Let's see what happened exactly and how was that. Okay, so moving on. And the subheading, yeah, the title, it's Hitler put pressure on Czechoslovakia in 1938. Yeah, if he put pressure, so which means that maybe he wanted something from that country. So maybe he went there. I don't know exactly what he did, but he did something. He put some pressure. He when we say like when we say that someone put pressure in another thing, it means that that person went there. Yeah, goes to this object and try, yeah, or force this object, country, or person, yeah, to do something that they don't want. This is to put pressure on something. Yeah, normally if I put pressure or something or someone, I would try to force this thing to do something that I want. Okay, I believe that this is the best definition for putting pressure. Okay, so let's go on. And then we have this 1, 2, 3, 4 points here. Okay, so just follow me. Give me just a second. I'm gonna let me let me get a little bit closer, well, with this thing here. Let's see if it gets better to see. Okay, let me see. Just a second. Okay, guys, let's go on here. Okay, I think that's better. I think so. Let's go on. So we have number one, number two, number three, and number four. So number one, Czechoslovakia's borders had been set by the Treaty of Versailles. So had been set, it had been built. Yeah, so this is gonna be the border, and then this belongs to you, and this belongs to me. So, and it was set in the Treaty of Versailles. The agreement that they had before. So the sudden, take a look on that. Sudetenland. Sudetenland was a part of western Czechoslovakia which had a large minority population of Germans, about 3 million. Okay, so we have this area here called Sudetenland. So let's check what is the exactly pronunciation for that. Okay, the right pronunciation is Sudetenland. Sudetenland. Okay, this is the correct one. Okay, so what do we have here? So again, Czechoslovakia's border, right? Remember, border is the area where divide what belongs to you and what belongs to me. Yeah, and there was this little area, yeah, called Sudetenland, and it was a part of Western Czechoslovakia and had like when we say a large minority population, in the whole population there was a minority. Like the minority means that in a group, there is a little amount of people, a little number of people that has some specific description. In that case here, they were Germans, okay? And they were about 3 million, okay? So, and if they were German, Hitler was the, was the prime minister of Germany. So maybe maybe they thought that, okay, say maybe he will try to come here or maybe he will come here and try to get control over us, right? So that was one reason that they were afraid of, because they had Germans living in Czechoslovakia. Number two, Hitler said that Czechoslovakian government was discriminating against Germans in the Sudetenland. The Nazis demanded that it should become part of Germany. One another very good reason, right, to believe that Hitler would try to invade then, right? Again, Hitler didn't like the Czechoslovakian government, and he believed that they were discriminating Germany, yeah, German people in the Sudetenland, in that area. The German people living in that specific area, which was in the Czechoslovakia territory, yeah, called it Sudetenland. And why he believed that? Because in this area lived a lot of Germans, okay? And the Nazi demanded, yeah, when we say they demanded, they said, okay, you have to do that. This is demand something. Yeah, you put order. You say you have to do and that it should become part of Germany. Probably in the beginning, as we can see here in the map, yeah, probably was only the Sudetenland area, right? As you can see here, yeah, is the purple part. But of course, I'm gonna move on the map later so we can see that better. And we have number three, yeah, going down here a little. In May 1938, Hitler moved his armies to the border of Czechoslovakia and threatened to go to war. He, wow, he wanted to take control of the Sudetenland, and the Czechoslovakian leader Benes was ready to fight. So again, yeah, was another situation here where Hitler believed that something belonged to him, yeah, or even even by history, because of the history, that it didn't belong to him, but somehow he believed that. I don't know why, and he wanted to take control over that because he believed that it was his thing, right? And then, of course, the leader of Czechoslovakia, which was Baines, yeah, he said, okay, so if you come here, we're gonna fight. Yeah, we're gonna have problems about that. Okay, so this was the third point, the third situation, the third fact about Czechoslovakia and Germany. Yeah, something that happened in that area. Remember that this information that we are reading here, okay, is just for you to learn, understand what was happening at that time, and then we're going to use this information to not only to answer these questions, but also to understand a little bit more about history. Yeah, we can see that Hitler wasn't an easy person to deal with, right? And number four, yeah, as you can see, we have Britain, France, and the USSR had agreed to support the Czechoslovakians if Hitler invaded. Hitler had promised Britain's Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain that he wouldn't invade Czechoslovakia. You see, Hitler made a promise to the British Prime Minister. So, I mean, it seems that he will not follow his promise. Yeah, he will not. I mean, fulfill his promise. Yeah, like he will not keep his promise. And again, Neville Chamberlain was the Prime Minister of Britain at that time. And again, Britain is the Great Britain, right? France is the country, and the USSR is the Soviet Union, right? What we know nowadays as Russia, Ukraine, that area specific. Okay, so this is the first part. Yeah, this is some of the facts that we had learned about this. Czechoslovakian, Germany, like situation. These points that I have read here for you, they are very important. So keep them in mind, okay? Let me get back to you quickly here. Now I'm gonna show you the map just for us to have a better understanding. Okay, so just follow me. Okay, as you can see here, right? We have the map, which we can see Germany in this more green, yeah, like I don't know how to say that. It's just a normal green, and then we have this like old green, which is the another area, right? Um, and I mean, the most important here is the purple area, as you can see, right? This one here. This is what we call Sudetenland, okay? And it was part of, yeah, it belonged to Czechoslovakia, but the point is that there were a lot of German people living there, okay? Even though it was not Germany, but there were people living there. So Hitler believed that, okay, so if we have German living there, so it's ours, like that. And then we can also see here that Austria is just down below. And I remember that Hitler, I believe in that time here, he had already conquered Austria. Yeah, he had already taken power over Austria. Okay, and here we have this information here. This is sometimes referred to as the Sudeten crisis. Yeah, crisis because we had that. Uh, there was this conflict between German and Czechoslovakia about this territory where it had German people live in. Okay, so that is the point for now. So now we're gonna move on, right? We're gonna move on. We're gonna continue to the next part here. Again, just follow me. Yeah, we're gonna learn a little bit about Chamberlain and some negotiations that they had. So let's go on that. Okay, so again here we have the subheading, right? Which is Chamberlain negotiated with Hitler. Again, remember Chamberlain was the Prime Minister of UK, of the Britain, right? So Neville Chamberlain wanted to avoid war. Yeah, he didn't want to have war and thought the best way to do this was to negotiate. The negotiations took place in September 1938. And then here we have some points, some of the situations and the dates. I mean, some informations and the dates uh, about what happened in this negotiation. And I'm going to read it for you. So just follow me. Let's begin with this one here on 15th September. And Chamberlain visits Hitler to negotiate. Hitler says this will be his last territorial request in Europe. Chamberlain decides to trust him. Okay, all right, what can I say, right? A mistake, but what can we say? So we have this 22nd here, September. On 22nd September, Chamberlain returns to Germany and tells Hitler that the Czechoslovakians will give him the Sudetenland. Hitler then changes his demands, saying he now wants all non-Germans to leave the Sudetenland. Chamberlain calls this unreasonable and prepares the British Navy for war. Oh man, I mean, uh, let's make some comments about that, right? And what can I say? I mean, I think just a comment, yeah, just like a moment for English practicing, right? So think with me. Uh, even from the beginning, yeah, in the first negotiation, the 15th of September, yeah, Hitler asked to the prime minister, talked to the prime minister, like, okay, I'm gonna conquer, I'm just gonna get one more territory, and that's gonna be the last one. Okay, so trust me. I mean, if we analyze only the fact that take something that doesn't belong to you by force, get it to you, yeah, like by, I mean, by threatening, yeah, like I mean, harming the other country, the other people. Only this, it's wrong. Yeah, only this little point, if we analyze, we say, okay, this is not correct. I mean, it should not be allowed. Okay, but the prime minister, okay, so let's avoid the war and let's not try to make things worse. So okay, so take this territory. Okay, it's yours and whatever. And then Hitler, not satisfied yet, right? He changed his mind. Okay, so I don't want this territory for me. Not only that, but now I want that everybody that is not German, yeah, that as we can read here, right? Hitler then changed his demands, saying he now wants all non-Germans, everybody that doesn't have German. I mean, um, what is the word for that? Like blood, yeah, connection, whatever, family connection, right? have to leave. I mean, you have to go away now. So, I mean, this area that now belongs to Germany, I mean, just maybe a couple weeks before that moment, belonged to Czechoslovakia. I mean, so firstly they got a new territory, and now they wanna expel all the people that lives there and all that in their mind should not be living there. I mean, of course, this was not for sure the first crazy action taken by Hitler, right? But I mean, this what the point that I want to say here is this is what happened when we give, I mean, and when we let, yeah, like a crazy person like Hitler, yeah, like or a situation that you see that things are not going right, you see that there is something wrong, and then you let it move on, just believing that okay, if I just leave this person or this situation moves on a little bit, maybe maybe he will be satisfied, and then we have like some peace time. It never happens. If you see something bad, if you see some evil, you have to stop that right away in that exactly moment, because we can learn by history, right? It never ends well. So, but I mean, just some comment, right? Moving on, and going back here, okay. So and then the British Navy for war. I mean, so the now after that situation, the Prime Minister started to prepare for battle, for fight. So and we have it here 29 September. And Hitler invites Chamberlain Daladier, the French Prime Minister, and Mussolini to a conference in Munich. Mussolini proposes a plan really written by the German Foreign Office. This becomes the Munich Agreement. So, do you understand that information? Really written by the German Foreign Office? Do you understand that? It means that um, that proposal that Mussolini, which was the Italian prime minister, you know, took there, yeah, showed the people, okay, so maybe this is something that we should do. It was written by a German, like by, I mean, German Foreign Office, which means by the German, yeah. So by the Germans, so it means that this proposal was was a German proposal, right? It was not a real one. It's not like Mussolini had an idea that had nothing to do with the Hitler, right? And then okay, so let's try to do this. No, so this probably this proposal was exactly what Hitler wanted. Okay, so and then we have the Munich Agreement. I'm gonna go over a little bit here up so you can see that better. Yeah. So is this part here? And the Sudetenland would be given to Germany, but Hitler guaranteed he wouldn't invade the rest of Czechoslovakia. Yeah, this guarantee, I mean, had no value, right? But anyway, so and then this was the Munich Agreement. Yeah, this was the situation here. Again, the Sudetenland would be given to Germany, so they would give that area officially to Germany, and then Hitler would stop his conquers, yeah, to another territories. He would like stop there and then maybe continue what he wanted to do. But so let's move on. Let's see what we have here after that. Okay, so and going here to this final part, right? We have here some points about the agreement, and probably some information about what happened after the agreement. So number one, Chamberlain gave in to Hitler's demands because he believed that Hitler would honor his promise. When we say gave in, it means that, okay, so I will accept what you are asking me because I believe that you're gonna, again, yeah, honor your promise. You're gonna do what you have promised, okay? Number two, it seemed like Chamberlain, the British Prime Minister, had prevented war. It seemed like, yeah, it looked like, parecia que, it seemed like parecia que, right? He claimed the agreement meant peace for our time, and he flew back to Britain to a hero's welcome. Again, he claimed, yeah, when he claimed, ele falou, ele disse, né, ele afirmou, right? The agreement meant peace for our time. We are gonna have like some peaceful time. And he flew back. Yeah, flew is the past of fly. Yeah, he got a plane probably and flew back to Britain to a hero's welcome. So everybody believed that he was a hero. Yeah, like, okay, so you did a very good agreement. We have no war. So yeah, everybody's happy, right? And then we have this little thing here. Check it out. That let me get this a little bit bigger for you, right? And then we have here. This is another example of Chamberlain's appeasement policy. Do you remember what is this appeasement policy? That's I think I have told you that in the last lesson, right? So again, just for you to have like a clear, yeah, a clear understanding, okay? Appeasement, appease, H comes from the verb appease, is when you give someone else, another person, what they want in order to avoid a bigger problem. Okay, so example, you have a little baby and the baby is crying, and then he says that he wants to play with a little toy, but you don't want to give the toy, but just for have some peaceful moment, just for a while, and then you give the toy to the kid, and then he stops crying, and then after just so when you have these appeasement policies, just you give something to someone in order to have some peace, in order to avoid a bigger problem. Okay, so that is the point of appeasement. I hope you have understood that. Okay, especially because we are gonna move on our study. So coming back, and then number 3, yeah, we have this part here. Britain's economy and armed forces were weak, so the opposite of strong. Some historians say Chamberlain gave in to Hitler in order to buy time to rearm Britain, yeah, to reinforce, to buy guns, maybe to prepare, right? So it's a good hypothesis, right? So if it was really his will, if it was really what he wanted, I think it was a wise thing to do, right? Because if he can't fight Hitler, so there is no negotiation, right? Number 4, Czechoslovakia and the USSR weren't invited to the conference. So the Czechoslovakians weren't even consulted on their own future and had now become very exposed to a possible German invasion. The USSR was worried about Hitler's hidden intentions, so it was horrified at the agreement. That's very, I mean, that's a very good word. Sorry, yeah, I cover the the word horrified with my head. Let me let me make myself disappear for a while. Okay, so again here, yeah. So it was horrified at the agreement. I mean, this word horrified, right? I believe you know, but if you don't know that, when you are horrified about something, it means you are like you go like, what the heck is that? Yeah, you get really scared and negatively surprised. Like, come on, how did you do that? Like, what is a good? Let me think about a good word in Portuguese for that. Like, horrified is like aterrorizado. Essa é uma palavra boa para horrified. Okay, so that is the thing. So coming back, let's go back there, and then we have this final part here. An opinion poll. Yeah. Again, do you know what is poll? Okay. If you don't know, research that. Okay. This is a word for you to check. Teacher, o que que é poll? Tarefa. Okay. Research this word. An opinion poll carried out in October 1938 showed that the vast majority of the British public didn't trust Hitler. Teacher, o que que é pool? Pesquisa, right? And then marca no caderno e manda para mim. Moving on. However, another survey taken early in 1939 showed that almost half of the population did believe in Chamberlain's policy of appeasement. So again, we have two very important information here. Number 1 shows that, the majority, most people in Britain, they didn't trust Hitler. Hitler was not a trustable person. However, yeah, but on the other hand, the policy, yeah, the strategy used by Chamberlain, the British Prime Minister, had some support, right, of the British people. So that's something cool, right? So this is something that probably, I mean, was very good for, especially for the political situation, right? So this is the first part, right? This is the first part of the reading. Yeah, I mean, I hope you have understood that. Now we're gonna cover the exercises, right? What do we have to do? I'm gonna let me open the thing here. So just follow me now and let's see what we have to do for today's homework. And so we begin here, yeah, the escalation of tensions in 1936 and 1938. Let me get back here for you. Hello, and just follow me. These activities will help you break down the states in the Sudan crisis and the international response to it. So, I mean, when we say that we're going to break down, we're going to divide it. Yeah, we're going to analyze piece by piece, part by part. Okay? So, thinking historically, number one, let's follow me. So, we have this timeline here, yeah, over my head, as you can see, right? This one here. And copy and complete the timeline below by describing each development in the Sudan crisis. This is a very difficult pronunciation, okay? So, I mean, probably if we analyze some videos on YouTube, we're gonna get like a better pronunciation. Sudan crisis. I mean, copy and complete. So we're gonna get this line here, we're gonna copy the informations and we're gonna describe, for example, May 1938, this first one here. Sorry, let me okay, this first one here. So what happened here? What situations, what events happened in May 1938? So make a description below. Write what happened there. Teacher, I don't know. Where can I get that? Go back to the page before. Okay, analyze everything and then you can come back here. And after, we have the 15th September 1938 and then 22nd September 1938 and 29th, yeah, 29th September 1938. All these dates, these informations here, something important happened, right? So what was that? Leave here, make a description below, and then this is part of the homework. Going down below here, can you see that? Number two, and explain how each development in your timeline above increased or decreased tension between Germany and other European countries. Again, we're gonna remember that we're gonna get some descriptions about the situations that happen following the timeline above, right? So here on number two, we're gonna explain that, okay, for example, like, okay, in 1938 happens something. So it increased or decreased the tension. It helped in some way to make the situation between Germany and the European countries more complicated or less complicated. Again, 15th of September, something happened there, right? So it helped to get the situation worse or not. It helped to solve it, to get some peaceful. So analyze each date and each situation and write down here on number two if it was better or worse for that complicated situation that was happening between Germany and the European countries. When I say that difficult situation, it means like the tensions of a possible war. Okay, so this is what I mean with that. So please do that. Number three, explain how each factor in the boxes below contributed, helped to the escalation of international tension between 1936 and 1938. Use the information from pages 48 and 50 to help you. Okay, again, the pages 48 and 50, if I'm not wrong, is the page like, yeah, this one and the one before. So use it to help you to grab information, to get new information. Okay, so again, teacher, what I have to do, we're going to explain these three facts A, B, and C, okay, in the boxes because they were in the boxes, okay, and how they contributed, yeah, how they affected the escalation of international tension, okay. So for example, number one, we have this green one here. Let me go down a little here. Let me get a little bit closer. Okay, I think you can see better that, right? The first one was German aggression. The second one, Chamberlain's policy of appeasement. And number C, the formation of alliances. So these three situations, they contributed in some way to the escalation of international tension? Yes or no? So this is what you have to do. Explain that. How I have to explain that, teacher? Writing. So in my opinion, I think they contributed. Yes, they made the situation worse. Or maybe if you have a different opinion, no, in my opinion, it had no, I don't know, no contribution, no effect. Yeah, no effect, whatever. Okay, so make your explanation and tell me about that. Okay, so and then we go to this next exercise here, right? Which is yeah, our always good analysis, right? So I'm gonna take my face now out of here, so just for you to see the picture better. Okay, I'm gonna get it a little bit bigger here for you. So let's go on. I'm gonna read it for you, so just follow me. Okay, so source analysis. The source on the right is a British cartoon. The picture, yeah, that's what we are talking about, published on 28th September 1938, just before the Munich conference. The captions reads, "What sharp teeth you have, grandmama." the 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 red hat story, right? And all the better for peacefully revising treatise, my dear. This is referring to the well-known fairy tale The Little Red Riding Hood, in which a wolf disguises himself as Little Red Riding Hood's grandmother and tries to eat her. Okay, so they compare this Munich treat, yeah, as this as the fairy tale, right? So I mean, if they did that, there was a reason, right? So probably they believed that this treaty, yeah, this thing was not good. Again, and what is the sentence that we have to analyze is this one here. What sharp teeth you have, grandmama? Yeah. Okay. So, and then I'm gonna get closer here this picture for you just so you have a better look at that, right? Okay. And then the sentence is down here below. Okay. I think you can't see, but it's written. What sharp teeth you have, grandmama? And the wolf answers, which is again, right? The wolf is Germany, right? Here, okay? And then the wolf says, all the better for peacefully revising treaties, my dear. Okay? So, okay, I'm gonna translate that sentence for you. Yeah? This all the better. This is the answer here, right? All the better for peacefully revising treaties, quer dizer, é para melhorar, né? Como diz, para melhorar a revisão dos tratados de paz, minha querida. Né? Of course, yeah. What it means here is that Germany was not a trustable country, right? For that. But anyway, so then we have here, right? This A, B, and C, and let's see what we have to do. So the question is this number one. The cartoon is critical of Britain's policy of appeasement. It's critical, which means they believed that this British policy of appeasement was not good. So explain how each detail in the blue boxes below showed this. So we have these three details here in the blue box, and supposedly, yeah, they're gonna show us that this Munich agreement was something not good. Okay, it was bad. So let's read. A. Germany is shown as a wolf in disguise. Yeah, so and it's not funny, but particularly they wrote like a Nazi symbol here on the. Oh my god, right? B. A girl dressed as Little Red Riding Hood is carrying a basket of food labeled. Labeled again, yeah, there is like esse papel com o nome, esse label, né, rotulado. Concessions. Concessions are things that are given up in order to appease someone or come to a compromise. So this is the meaning of concessions. Concessions are things that are given up in order to appease someone or come to a compromise. It's like we have seen another word, yeah, very similar to that. I mean, you give something to someone in order to have some peaceful time. And C, the caption plays on the story of Little Red Riding Hood when Little Red Riding Hood fails to recognize that her grandmother is a wolf. So basically, they are saying here, yeah, that this British trial to get some peaceful was not good because they compared the British, yeah, like the little girl that she didn't recognize that Germany was, I mean, was a bad guy. Yeah, was not the real grandma, right? So we have these three very interesting informations here down below. Okay, again, and so teacher, can you repeat for me what I have to do here, right? Just to give you a quick little, yeah, reminder, right? So you analyze these three sources that we have here and you answer the question. Teacher, what question? This one. The cartoon is critical of Britain's policy of appeasement. Of course. Explain how each detail in the blue boxes below show this. So you can see you get the three boxes here down, right? A, B, and C. And using the information that we have here, you explain how this cartoon is against the appeasement policy made by the British. Why we believe and by what we see here, why we understand that they are criticizing, they are saying that this agreement was bad. So explain that for me using the informations on the box A, B, and C. All right, so guys, that's it, right? This is the lesson of the day. Okay, so focus on, right, this is this is a long topic, right, what we have studied today. Okay, so focus on, okay, and do your best, of course. Again, if you don't understand something, go back a little. Yeah, you can send me a message as well, of course, if you need, right, and read that again. Okay, so now, as I always do, I'm just gonna read the final part right here, this last information. I'm gonna move my head a little bit, okay, above, just for you to read the Chamberlain information. So check it out. I'm gonna read this part here right now. Chamberlain thought he'd brought peace to Europe. Again, Chamberlain thought he had brought peace to Europe. He believed that. It may seem obvious now that giving Hitler the Sudetenland would increase tension in Europe, but Chamberlain didn't know this in 1938. So don't forget that he wanted to avoid war at all costs. Yeah, I mean, as he said, right? For us nowadays, it's obvious, especially that we know what Hitler really believed in. But in the text, he said that he was trying to avoid the war. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we cannot judge people. I mean, especially people's decision, right? It's very, even though I did that, right? I made some comment on the promise, but in this point, he is right. You know, like it's very difficult. Yeah, let's suppose that we were in his place, what actions we would have taken. I don't know, right? Even me, yeah. But of course, yeah, history also, yeah. I mean, this is okay, this information, but also we have to remember that history is there for us to learn, yeah, and to make better, to take better decisions in the future. So I hope you have really learned something in this lesson today, especially English, right? Because this is the main goal. So focus on, and of course, thank you very much for always being here with me. Okay, so have a good time and see you next class, guys. Take care.